Hello, welcome back. This is episode number 4 of my Builder's video log on the VAYGRIM'S Chance Season 3 Let's Play server. This episode goes along with world download number 4 that VAYGRIM just put on curse.com a couple of days ago. You can go ahead and grab that world download, install it in your Minecraft, and take your own tour of my base or VAYGRIM'S base. You can check out the new SDE that's just outside of the BDE, or wander around anyone else's base on the Let's Play server. So this time we're going to take a look at what's changed on in my base in the last. It's been about a week or so, I think, since the previous episode. I know my goal is to get an episode out along with each one of the world downloads, but I was a little bit late on the previous one, and honestly, VAYGRIM has been kicking out episodes like crazy. So the episode 30 download came really close after the episode 20 download, and so I haven't got a lot done this time, so it may be a bit of a shorter episode, but let's take a glance around the base and see what's going on. Let me flip the camera around here, and that's flipped it too far. Alright, so here we are perched high atop the bluffs above the base. Now, let me turn on the UI. It seems weird playing without the user interface. So I did actually end up pushing out the pavement out to this far side over there and cleared out the sketchings for the Happy Pod area. And I waffle back and forth a lot about what I'm going to do with this edge of the base. I think my current thought is that I may end up putting like a heavy machinery area over here, anticipating that with version 1.3 coming out of the VAYGRIM'S Chance pack, that now includes immersive engineering, which has all kinds of new toys to play with. And so I may want to be able to take this space and kind of dedicate it to some of the immersive engineering stuff that will be coming out very, very soon. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. So I've cleared out the Happy Pods that were in this area. I've paved over the whole thing and cleared out some space here. Now you can see I actually did get a bridge in here. Nothing too complicated. Nothing real complex or fancy. It's very industrial looking, making use of the Catwalks mod to create a basic bridge that is certainly a step up. Get it? Bridge, step. Step up from the dirt bridge that was over here for far too long. Still nothing out in the desert, but I'm getting really anxious to push out there, especially because everyone else is creating train stations for their bases, and I really love to play with the railcraft trains, and so I'm a little bit jealous, I guess, that they're playing with the trains and I'm just not there yet. In fact, Trunks has made a really neat train depot just outside of the BDE. He calls it the SDE, where he's made a vertically oriented train station, if you can believe that. It's really pretty cool to see, and he did a really nice job making that work out. It's a totally different concept. It's of course very, very not practical to have a vertical train station. But it's really pretty neat to see, and maybe we can pop over there and take a look at it. So changes to my base. What I did in here is last time I was showing off the ender chest that was over here, and how cool that was to have everything, to have my warehouse here connected to the rest of my system through this teleportation ender chest thing going on. And that was really cool, but then I remembered that one of my guidelines, one of my goals here for this base was that I was going to make this a tech build and not make use of any magic items, and so I endeavored to get rid of the ender chests and find some other way to make this work without using the magical ender chest. And so I got rid of that, and there were actually a bunch of other boxes over here, but I've since put those up and torn them back down again. And what I did is I created this space down here, and if I go down here, voila, we have what looks more like a server room than a magical ender chest. And this now is where all of my items route throughout the logistics pipe system. So I've basically made use of, I've connected up logistics pipes and the RF tools storage or modular storage, which is a really cool system. McJitty, I need to ask him how to pronounce that name. I always pronounce it McJitty. I don't know if the J makes a J or a Y sound, so it might be McYitty. I don't know, but I call him McJitty. But he's done a really cool job with RF tools, specifically looking at the modular storage system here. So what I've done is that these logistics inventory system connectors basically allow you to connect a disconnected system, if that makes sense. And so what I did have set up is that this was connected to an ender chest, which then was connected to another ender chest over here. And so this system connector would connect through the ender chest to the other ender chest to reconnect to the logistics pipe system. And so this system connector allows you to connect through something else, even though they're not actually physically connected. And so originally that was the ender chest, but now I've done this modular storage system because the modular storage system has this remote storage module, which makes use of the not magic but technical magicry. Is that a word, magicry? I don't think so. That makes use of technical wizardry to join things that are far apart. And so this remote storage system here, this remote storage module, is connected up through this remote storage system here, and it connects up to these other remote storage modules here. And so you link storage modules, and that allows you to connect this device here to both this and a similar device elsewhere, so that they connect up through these remote storage units. And so this enabled me to have a technical solution rather than a magical solution to being able to remotely connect up my logistics pipes in order to keep things flowing really quickly. That was really the goal here, is to try to keep things flowing through logistics pipes as quickly as possible. And when it's actually flowing through the pipes, that of course takes time. And if I'm running from here all the way over to, say, the agri-science building, then that can be a fair amount of time. Literally, you're staring at your request table for 6 or 7 seconds to get the pieces that you need, and that may not seem like a long time, and it's certainly shorter than running over there and grabbing the materials that you need. But that 6 or 7 seconds is just to get the stuff over here, and then if that material has to then be crafted, that means it takes 6 or 7 seconds to get to the warehouse, and then another few seconds to get to your crafting center, then another few seconds back, and then it has to go to you again. And that whole round trip can actually end up taking 15 seconds or 20 seconds or so, and that's a long time when you're just staring at it. But this way, being able to connect up remotely using these remote storage modules allows the system to run really, really fast. And so now I get stuff in a second and a half, 2 seconds, something like that. And so this took the place of the ender chests. And so we've got this modular storage unit here, which connects up the two remote storage areas, one being the agri-science, where my essences come from, and the other being this actual warehouse here is the other remote storage area. And then here I've got this really cool system that I set up, and I wish I could take credit for it, but it's not my idea. It's something I've heard several other people do. I just took a technical sort of angle on it. And what I can do here is I can remotely order items. This remote order here gives me access to this remote order logistics pipe, which connects up to this modular storage system, which then connects up through ID 15 to my remote storage module, which connects up to here and gives me access to everything that I have upstairs, basically. And so what I can do here is from this one request module here, I can request anything in my system. And what happens is, like if I want, so maybe say a stack of stone, right? I select this, hit one stack, I hit request, boom, there you see it got sucked out. You can see down here, it says that I've requested 64 stone. And then what happens is that this, which is connected up to the warehouse above, pulls it from that remote system into this pipe here, jams it into here, this remote order logistics pipe, which is connected up to this request system, and then pops it into here, which is, voila, here on my RF Tools remote storage tablet. And there it is. There's the 64 stone that I requested. It pops into this channel on my remote storage tablet. Now, is that cool or what? That means that I can be, I'm standing next to it here, and if I wanted the stuff, I could just hop upstairs and grab 64 stone. But that means that I can be anywhere, literally even in another dimension, and I can have full access to my entire inventory of resources. So, I can pull anything I want. I can say, give me, a stack of oak planks, and it's going to pull it out of there. It's going to shove it into here, and now I've got remote access to 64 oak planks. Now that's pretty cool, and I was pretty thrilled about that because, of course, what would happen is as I'm, building something over on the far side of the base, and I'm, 2 oak planks short, and then I need to run back to the warehouse and grab 2 oak planks and run back again. And not that my little avatar legs get tired, but it just takes time, and it's a waste of time when I can be building. And so this really speeds things up because I can hit anything in my inventory and just pull it straight into here, and it goes directly into this storage module tablet. Now that's really cool and very efficient, and you can maybe tell I get really excited about very cool, very efficient things. But that's not all. What's even cooler is that, yes, I've got access to my entire inventory here by pulling that out of the remote storage tablet. But not only do I have that here in the remote storage tablet, right, there's the cactus, but I can change channels on this remote storage tablet and go to a different storage channel, right? So this is just the channel that connects up to that remote requester. Here I can change channels, and now I've got access to my sort of odds and ends box that's up there in engineering, right? So all the stuff that I don't have regular storage for in the warehouse, I jam in this odds and ends box, and boom, there it is on a separate channel, right? Now, how cool is that, right? That's awesome. I've got access to really everything in my inventory right here remotely, and all from this one storage tablet, or the storage module tablet. But wait, there's more. If I switch to the other channel, right, channel 3, which I put a gold box here. I wish that we could actually name these channels. McJitty, if you're listening, please give us a way to name these channels. So what I did is I put these little icons up here. I put these items up here to help me remember what each thing does. This is the golden chest, and the golden chest, what do you do with it? You store things in it. So for example, if I need to put something back into my inventory again, I can drop off it in here, and boom, it goes right back into the system again. That is so cool. I love just doing this, and it just drops it in there. And what it's doing is it's coming into the system, and it gets pushed back through the logistics pipe system again, and ends up back in my inventory. So I can pull from the inventory, I can use it, do whatever I need to do, and then push it back into my inventory again, all remotely. And that's all from these machines here that are inside of sort of this server room here underneath my warehouse. Very, very cool. I spent a fair amount of time working on this. This was actually first installed upstairs here. It used to hang out right up here, but it was kind of crowded in here and kind of cramped, and I really didn't like the look of it. But I got everything working right there, and it was a lot easier to work with because it was all out in the open. And once I was comfortable with how everything was or was not working, and it did take a little bit of futzing back and forth to make it work. Once I was comfortable with it, then I moved it all downstairs to a room that is more fitting of close that. There we go. A room that was more fitting for the technology, somewhere down in kind of the IT vault down here. Really cool. Really like that system. close the door. Something else that I spent a fair amount of time on are the access tunnels. Here we are in the access tunnels underneath the base, and I wanted to get some access tunnels to, well, it's just to practically to route all of the power and liquids and that kind of stuff that goes around the base. But I didn't want to just bury it in the ground. I wanted this to be kind of like a fairly realistic kind of base sort of thing. And so if there's going to be access tunnels, they're going to make them legit with structures, and have to use some sort of material to build it out of. And so I built some legit access ways underneath the base, complete with signs, because yes, I get lost in my own access tunnels. Here we are. This is underneath the processing area. Right here's all the pipes and whatnot that go every which way. This is underneath the processing area here, and there's the force fields that make up the door to the processing area. So I tried to make something, well, actually when I first built it, it looked a lot like a dungeon. I was asking someone about it to get their opinion on it, and they said, it looks kind of like a dungeon. Like, I'm expecting there to be skeletons around the corner here. So I added some tech stuff to it to make it less dungeon-y, fans and some scaffolding for supports, and these little glow panels here providing lighting for the area. This is a mechanism glow panel, by the way. This is the cyan glow panel. You can make them from all the different Minecraft colors, and I really like them a lot. They provide a sort of a tech build light source for your constructions, and they blend in. They're microblocks, and so they play nice with all the other microblocks. And they blend in really, really well. They come in with all the different colors. You can sort of make them sort of almost disappear. So this is the access tunnels, and processing main power rooms over there. And I haven't decided whether Magnum Torch is magic or not. It's awfully convenient, I'll tell you that. So I'm not sure what my convictions are with Magnum Torches right now. I may still get rid of it, but it sure is awfully nice to have right now. So walking through the base, this is going to pop up underneath. Here's right now I'm underneath the engineering room. That's where I do a lot of my crafting, and that's where some of the smaller processing machines are. So this is underneath my actual crafting bench. Is just right here. You can see that here's actually the thermal expansion machinist bench. And then here's the logistics pipes requesting bench, requesting table is right there. I can't get around the pipe to select. There it is, request table. So we're underneath the crafting area. Here is this remote system connector that connects up to that other connector that we saw in that IT vault right here. So again, this system connector pipe makes it seem like this modular storage and this modular storage basically don't exist, and it's as if this system connector that was over there in the IT vault, it's as if that one connects up directly to this. That's the way the logistics system sees it, as one continuous system, and it almost doesn't even really see the inventory here at all, and it works really well. So from here, I've got access to pull and then craft whatever materials I need from anywhere in the system. So there's my little access way behind the engineering building. This pops up literally behind engineering here. I haven't really changed anything in the power room there, and obviously this is still just a green hill, but I have figured out what I wanted to do with this. Originally I was planning on making sort of a corporate headquarters kind of building here off to the sort of the inhabiting like half of this hill, but I think what I'm going to do now is make this more of a computer sciences kind of building, where geotechnical will be in there with some models, and I really kind of want to get deep into some open computers stuff. Open computers and the various peripherals that go along with it. You can do some really, really fun things, but I never, unfortunately, it seems like by the time I get to the point where I want to use open computers for something, I've been on a server for several months, and now it's time to wipe the server and move on and do something else. And so, unfortunately, I never really get into open computers as much as I would like. And I really want to do that this time. And so I'm going to make a building for it, so that way I'm kind of committed to do stuff with open computers. Because you can do just about anything with open computers. It's really only limited by your imagination and your ability to code Lua, which is what Open Computers uses, which is really easy to use and really easy to get into, but it just takes a while to get there and to get it done. But you can do some really cool things with automation and monitoring of the various systems and processes. And there's even Open Computers even has a really cool 3D printer that they use, so that you can recreate blocks, or you can actually create brand new blocks with the 3D printer. It's really pretty neat. I added the decontamination area, right? Hybridization lab, enter via decon. So now we've actually got a decon area, and I'm just about done with this. I've got the visual effects working the way I want. Access restricted, power down all generation 1 and 2 prosthetics. I think I'm good there. I've actually got my own arms and legs. So here we go into the decontamination area, and you get this really... I really like that effect. I think it came out really well. It's kind of spacey, kind of otherworldly. It's kind of like you're stepping into a different dimension, and then you can't, when you walk through, you can't see what's going on, what's on the other side. You're just almost like blinded for a little bit inside of this odd dimension, and then you pop out and it's like, oh my gosh, what just happened as I went through there. Pretty happy with the way that came out. But I do want to add some sound effects to that as well. Right now it's just the visual effect. And if you download the world and walk through the base, you can poke around here and deconstruct it and see what's going on and how I got that effect done. I really like the way that came out. Let me turn off my magnet here before I attract all the essences. Here in the robotics area of agri-science, I didn't really change anything too much. However, I lost one of my little robot buddies. I don't know what happened. I came through here one day and there's all this stuff waiting to be picked, but he was nowhere to be found, and not sure what happened. They've been programmed to stay, just in this one area, right? They've got a little map here, right? Map location, work in area. And you can see how the docking station is red here, which means that it's linked to a robot, but he was nowhere to be found. So I don't know what happened to him, but the little dude, I don't know whether he despawned or whether he ran. I don't know. He couldn't have run out of power because it's only this one little area. So I don't know what happened to him, but I had to make his little brother to come replace him. And so that was kind of sad. We had to say goodbye to our first little picker harvester robot and replace him with Harvester Robot 2.0. But other than that, everything is pretty much the same in here. I did connect this up to the access tunnels as well, and sort of tidied it up so they were just dirt tunnels, but now they're actually legit access tunnels that have been finished off with stone and whatnot. I need to get the rope lights in here on the catwalks because I think those are really cool, like these right here. These rope lights actually speed it up. They give you a little speed boost as you go up, and also they illuminate the cage scaffold area here, cage ladders. Really like the catwalks mod. I can't remember who the developer is of the catwalks mod, but they did a really good job with it. So that's pretty much it for changes on the base. Actually, one more thing I guess I can mention, and it's a logistics pipe thing. I had a little problem with logistics pipes, and I set up one of these. Actually, what I did is I had two smelting furnaces down here. I can't remember the precise name for them, but basically the smelting furnaces, and I realized that was not efficient. I can do everything that I need to with just one smelting furnace, and I could then upgrade it to a smelting factory, which is really nice because it'll do actually 5 items at a time, and it kicks stuff out really fast. Actually, you can see just how fast. Boom! Look at that. There it goes, 3 at a time. And I think I've only got 2 out of 8 speed, or 3 out of 8 speed upgrades on that right now. So it moves really fast through smelting whatever you put in there. So I decided to make it a little bit more efficient and take the two singles and combine them down into one triple factory. And I got that all together, and then after I set it up, all of a sudden, the stone. I was working with a lot of stone because I was down underneath in the access areas, and the stone just kind of like stopped working. I've got it set up where when I pull stone out of my inventory, it automatically gets restocked, and it wasn't restocking. And there was stone was ending up over here, and some was stuck in here, and I even found some stone over here. Some really weird things were happening, and I spent a long time messing with it, trying to figure out what was going on. And I knew that it was working, but all of a sudden it wasn't. And of course, you play the game. What changed? And the only thing that changed was the fact that I'd added that factory, and so it had to be something over there. So I found this really cool tool here. This logistics pipe controller, and it was really handy for helping to debug what was going on, because what you can do with this logistics pipe controller is you click it on your logistics pipes, and it shows you some of the sort of hidden information about what's going on in the pipes. It'll show you any upgrades that you've added to the pipes. If you've locked it down, it'll show you that. It gives you some statistics, which is maybe interesting if you're into that sort of thing, but I haven't found a use for that yet. What was useful here, though, is the inventory section, because that's basically showing you, or it will show you, the tasks that have been set for this particular pipe that it's currently trying to fulfill. So it's kind of like a to-do list for this particular section of pipe. And what I saw here was that there was a whole bunch of stone jobs that were all jammed up in this. Basically every single time it had tried to refill the inventory, it was all just stuck here, and it was odd numbers. Like I typically got things in stacks, and instead of being 64, it would be like 42 and 9 and whatnot. And as I was poking around at the different pipes, looking at their inventories to see where things were getting stuck, because they should be empty, like what we're seeing here, where there's nothing pending. Basically, it's taking care of its to-do list. Same thing here. It's taking care of its to-do list, so there's nothing pending. But when I came over here and looked, there was a bunch of stone jobs over here as well, and I knew that my stone recipe was over here, and there was no reason for there to be stone over here in this pipe. But yet, when I looked at the task list here, it was all full of stone jobs as well. Well, come to find out that I had right here another stone recipe to turn cobblestone into stone. And so what was happening was that when I would place a request for another stack of stone, basically smelting cobblestone into stone, when I placed that request, both of these crafting areas, the crafting pipe over here inside the logistics chassis, and this one over here, they would both get the request to make these things. And then when the resources got shot down the tube, some of them would end up over here and some would end up over here, but neither one of these would get its full fill of cobblestone to turn into stone. And so both of these would have jobs that kind of hung up and were waiting to be fulfilled, and it just started jamming things up really bad, because the stone would never get fully completed because the crafting pipes weren't getting the resources they needed, and it was just a mess. And it took a little while it took a long while to figure out what was going on. And this logistics pipe controller helped me narrow it down to where the problem was happening, and it really helped resolve the problem. Because one of the problems with logistics pipes is, as fun as it is, when something goes wrong, it can be really difficult to figure out where it's going wrong, because it can get hung up anywhere inside this whole huge system. That all it takes is one of these junctions to be maybe if you forget and you accidentally drop in a Buildcraft transport pipe instead of a junction, or maybe you've accidentally made a junction somewhere, and that will be enough to completely mess up the entire system. Not just something over here, but that means that everything gets routed completely wrong everywhere in the system, and it can be a really pain to figure that out. But I finally did, and I learned from that. I learned to use this little logistics pipe controller to help figure things out, and that really helped me. So, hot tip, that logistics pipe controller when you're working with logistics pipes. So that's pretty much it for changes to my base in this episode. If I were to take a guess at what I would be doing next, I would have to say that it kind of depends. It really sort of depends on, get that little cross off my nose. Boop, there we go. It kind of depends on when the next version of the mod pack comes out. Because along with that mod pack comes immersive engineering and some changes to my base that comes with the new items from immersive engineering. And so if the 1.3 gets released really soon, then I'm going to start working on this area behind me right here and making sort of a heavy machinery area there on this little island on the base. But if it looks like 1.3 is still going to be a couple weeks away, then I will probably end up doing the computer sciences building inside that hill behind me, all the way at the back of the base. And so that's probably where I'll spend my time. But we'll see what the future holds. Who knows? I may get some inspiration to maybe finally start building the actual spaceport over there. And I do want to get a train station or a cart station built, so I can connect it up to the system over at the BDE. If you download the world, actually you should download the world and go check out Trunk's SDE train station. He put a lot of work into that. It looks really cool. It's a really neat concept. It's it's really fun in Minecraft how you can take a real functional kind of real world structure like a train station and turn it on its end literally and make it all work inside Minecraft. It's a really neat exercise to sort of challenge yourself to see, how can I make this different? Not necessarily, more effective, because who wants a train station on its end, but make it different and take a creative turn on things, which Trunks did really, really well in that SDE. So by all means, please do download the world. It's kind of a big download, but I think it's worth it just to check out some of the stuff that the builders have done on this world. It's really some pretty cool stuff. So that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the tour of my base. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments down there below. I do read all the comments, and I answer most of them. And if you have any other ideas for stuff you'd like to see, add it below, and we'll see if it ends up in another video. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you again very, very soon.